tend to access with the stern ladder. So we just unclip here, and down she comes onto the dock, and then we can step aboard. So already been on her, so the companionway's washboard's been removed. She's nice and open. Bit of a clutter in there at the moment. Down in the main salon of the boat, there was carpet in here that, there it is at the moment, out in the cockpit, going to get binned, but that was down here on the floor, and as I took it up, the underside of it was wet, damp, so I decided to investigate a little more. So these things are just held in place with a few screws at the sides. So I'm just whipping these out so we can have a look under the floor. Lever that up a bit. Whoa. Well, we got one that's dry. The other two seem to be full of water. Okay, gonna need to deal with that. Let's turn ourselves around and have a look under this one here. Again, a few more screws. One. Two. Come on. Here we go. 3. 4. Okay. See if we can. Very difficult to do with a single hand, but there we go. We'll just get under there and lift that, and whoa, there's another 2 chambers. I seem to have some kind of sensors going out through the bottom of the hull in these two, but they are also pretty wet. Now I don't know where that's been coming through from. It possibly the engine behind the companionway steps there, because we did have some leaks when we first bought the boat through the stern tube, which we believe we fixed now, and another transducer that's through there. So I guess these are filled up and just not drained because there's nowhere to drain them, so we're going to have to do that manually. Okay, another job to do. Pop that. A lot of this is legacy kit. That's going to need replacement. This is an old battery voltmeter that's no longer connected. There's a lot of stuff in here that's just legacy and no longer used. This was a system to give you a triangulated position using onshore VHF transmitters, so you could get a bearing on each while you're out of sight of land and triangulate your position. Obviously that's been superseded by GPS, this GPS, but this is quite an old GPS unit. I believe it's integrated with the auto helm. This is a hydrograph which pings the bottom of the seabed basically, so you can see the shape of the seabed and maybe determine what materials are down there, whether it's mud or rock or whatever. And it also has some kind of alarm apparently in case you're running out of depth at anchor. But I mean, it's a cathode ray tube. This stuff has been long since superseded. The VHF is actually reasonably new, I think, in that I think it's less than 5 years old, and we've had this one reprogrammed with our MMSI call sign and codes, so this is set up correctly. This switch panel, apparently it's got these kind of push button on off switches, which are also breakers that pop out, Yeah, I think we're probably going to replace that with just switches and fuses. And if we actually go behind the panel, let me just open that up. As we can see, it's a right rat's maze in there. This is this old kit that's hanging onto the door there, and yeah, I mean it's. I'm sure whoever put it together knew what they were doing, but there's just wires everywhere. A few labels, not many. I think that, yeah, is some kind of multimeter, but yeah, we need to rework that. That's yeah, that's going to need some work. Let's pop that back in there for the moment. Lever that up. There we are. We can see we got some water and 2 transducers in there, which isn't great. So we need to pump that out. But I think it came in when we had the issue with the engine the water in the engine bay. I think it's flooded through here, and it's only when me and Will took it out sailing on Saturday that it sploshed about and made the bottom of the carpet wet, which, you know, I've got rid of now. But I think if we pump that will be fine. And if we look under the other one, it's caught the edge. There you go. Found giving it a bit of a lever at the edge helped. So this has got 2 chambers with some water in. Oh, and one that's dry. Yeah, it didn't quite make it that far, but
so there's no holes in these ones?
No, well, no, I don't think so. I think it's kind of sloshed backwards.
Yeah, which does. So that, I was going to say, what makes you think that it isn't the transducers leaking? And I guess this is some evidence that suggests the water is sloshing across these bulkheads, right?
Yeah.
If you would call these bulkheads.
Yeah. Bucket pump. So in theory, just to actually see the water coming through here from the side.
Ah, there's a hole.
So there seems to be a hole. That's why it's flowed through that way.
Okay. Alright, hang on. I think we probably need to empty this guy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just drop that down. It's fine. It's actually quite a lot of water in here. A surprising amount of water. Oh, now that's interesting. Sponging and pumping, and we seem to have dry bilges now. We just need to keep an eye on them, and hopefully the water's not going to return.